Somebody had a great question about how do you know, why aren't more psychics more correct? Or
Oh, that was my question the other day, you mean?
Yeah, I love that question because
It's a good question.
Yeah, it is, because people who enjoy watching psychics, you will get conflicting ideas because everything is moving. And when I drop into somebody's energy signature, it's one way, but tomorrow it might be another. But there's other tools that I use. You were not born, but you had a spiritual experience, which gave you the gift. And you hear directly. I don't hear directly. And so I use my intuition, which I do have, but I use cards and numerology to triangulate my answer. And I have to tell you something. This is, how do I get it? See, how do I change Gloria's, that's right, it'll stay up. But that's what I heard you one time. This is a while ago. Your predictions correlate with my numbers.
Oh, really?
What I wanted to tell you, because there was one small area, where another psychic had said this madness is gonna last another couple of years, and you went, oh no, that was your humanness, and then shortly after that, it was, yeah, I think that's right. Because, and then I knew the numbers were right, because this is a 7 universal year. This is the year where we really, truly can't hide from our own truth, our own morals, our own ethics, and walk our talk. And so people who fight against that are exposed, like all that but the next 2 years is going to be kind of fun with our, it's going to be kind of fun with, the entertaining part. Now we've worked all this time.
Right.
We can sort of see this is going to be our cycle of reward, because I think our justice system is getting to walk their talk.
Finally.
It's not, it's because it used to be, oh, nobody's above the law, blah, blah, blah. Well, now they're starting to walk their talk, and it's refreshing.
It's refreshing. Hey, listen, I remember what I said, because I didn't run away from that question by why do people depend on psychics and they're not always right, and why. Mm-hmm. But I can only speak with my experience.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do this. I was told to do this. And the reason I was told to do this was because they said, quote unquote, you will calm them down.
Yes.
So if I can give you something, maybe I'm not always right, but
The thing is that when someone has anxiety, and you have the right combination of words to say, oh, let's take a pause. This too shall pass. That's a pause. And you think, oh, okay. Then you course correct that person. They're not always anxious like this. They kind of go back and say, oh yeah. Now, when I put the announcement up that you were coming on today, I've had friends, Pam Jacobson, a text message me, said, oh, thank you so much for introducing me to Linda G, my neighbor. Oh, thanks so much. Linda G is so wonderful. I feel so much. I listened to Linda G today, and I feel so much better. And so you have the magic touch, that's for sure. And keep it up.
It's not me, it's them.
Right.
But the main thing is that people have to get out of their own way. If I get so many people writing me, oh my God, I heard this, and they're reactive. Yeah. And you got to just stand down and allow and say this too shall pass, because fear is the deceptive. Fear is almost like, quote unquote, if you believe or not believe in evil. That's the number 45. Mm-hmm. He's deceptive. He wants you to fear. That's his whole gig, to make people lose their abilities to be strong within their spiritual realm, because they're always jumping off that wagon thinking, oh no, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help you at all.
I think we lean into fear and stay there, preparing for the shoe to drop or the penny to drop. Just
Yeah.
making sure fight or flight, and to just take a break from that, knowing that it truly is, with the numbers and the cards that I use and all that stuff. It truly is coming to an end, and it really is. But you know what I discovered?
Right.
I went to Jack Smith, because for the longest time,
Yeah.
for the longest time, I couldn't find his birthday. I still can't find Fanny's birthday or Bonnie's birthday, but him and Trump have the same personal year. So talk about good and evil, angel and devil. So here's a good example. It's a 9 year for Trump and Smith. So a 9 personal year asks you to give up what just doesn't work anymore. It's a 9-year cycle. You've collected all this stuff. Give up what doesn't work. And Trump has not given up the lies.
No.
He is the same today as he was last year and the year before. He hasn't shifted. Where Jack just, I'm first name basis, of course.
Yeah. Jack and I are good. I'm expecting him to call me any minute now.
Yeah, right. But he is also a 9 life path, which makes him all about legacy.
Right.
And so I don't really know what he has given up this year. However, because I see his successful progress, I'm assuming whatever it is, he's done it early in the year, because he just hit the ground.
Well, he had that horrible accident that broke his head.
And it did
And
not.
he had to sell his house. He's not talking about it. He doesn't want to give Trump the satisfaction. But people were writing me and saying, well, how do you know it's because he's being harassed? Hello. People don't give up property nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't just a convenience. I'm sure he sold that house because he knew Trump's minions would be after him.
That's the sad part, but that just gets him closer to his convictions, because it's the legacy of America, not a man.
Yeah.
Where Trump is the legacy of the man, not America. And that's same with DeSantis and everything else. They're just doing it for self.
DeSantis is just so ugly energetically.
Oh, but
just fired that woman who was duly elected because he felt she didn't do what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If I was the people of Florida, I'd be marching the streets. It's just unbearable.
So I got to tell you what's going on with him. So this is a man who's at the top of his game, and he is not at the top. I believe after governor, he's going to have to just work for a corporation or start his own business, maybe a restaurant or something like that, because he has not that serves only pudding.
I can see him at Denny's with his white patent leather boots.
No silverware. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Pudding fingers. That's what they called them. They told him to go home, pudding fingers.
Pudding fingers. The thing is that at the beginning of this year, he was in alignment with what his numbers meant. I thought, he's in alignment because all these new beliefs or new actions came out, this creative mind, I'm going to do this. And it's not like he believes in anything he's putting forward. He's saying it so he can get the applause. Okay. And now, by the numbers, as we get closer to the end of the year, that applause is stopping. And he's not going to be able to manage next year with that energy. It's just not going to be able to happen. So it's just like, get your popcorn out.
I think he's going to lose big time.
Yeah. Because what he's doing, I thought, is my example when I was telling people, is his statements are going to get so ridiculous. And I was thinking, he's going to declare something so dumb, like people can only eat fish on Friday or something like that. But then he comes up with trying to justify slavery. And that's not even on my radar as a.
He's such a prejudice.
Yeah. Lucky
Trump is all about him.
Yeah. Well,
He
same.
goes with whatever belief he thinks you want to hear. He acts like he's religious. He ain't religious one little bit.
Right. But you know, I really believe that I'm kind of glad they're out there like that because it's so ridiculous. People are sitting up straight in their chairs and saying, "What?" And it's getting young people back into office. That meaning, what's the middle age of what's in there now? The people in there now are like 70 or something, and now all the young people are coming in. They wouldn't have done that if the conflict between Hillary and Trump and didn't start happening.
Roe versus Wade. That look what's happening. Look what's happened in Wisconsin. Look what happened in Ohio. They're coming out in droves.
The thing is that if this didn't have Trump, the Trump phenomena didn't happen, and all the people were still in their laptops and their screen time, we would, and if someone smarter was in there, we would have been in trouble. But because of what they did, so ridiculous, more people are saying, "Hey, I love my country."
Yeah.
And it'll do, but he will not be elected again at all because the only reason he was elected in 2016 is because people were not voting for him; they were voting against Hillary.
Yes.
And so he won't get those numbers again.
Yeah. And also Russia helped. They did news. Yeah.
Yep.
So can I ask you, did you take a look-see at Manchin?
Yes. So Manchin and Cinema are all about the money, and it's not in alignment with who they are supposed to be. They are on the planet to enjoy the riches of the planet, but how you get those riches is how the quality of your life. But the money, he's motivated by money and acquisitions. So it would be that he doesn't feel the Dems are going to support him, and he's trying to tiptoe into the middle so he can get some money from the conservatives.
Well, that he's been getting money. That's why he's so rich right now.
Well, everyone in Congress now, I might be wrong on this, but the thing is that when you're in Congress and take office, there's this really weird thing that you kind of get inside trading information as a upper level person, and even the Democrats don't want to give that up, but it's the lobby and the this, and that's how they get a lot of money. Except for Bernie, he's an honest egg.
Yeah,
he's such an honest, but he is probably going to go there, and I'm not sure. I have to get closer to see if he's going to make any progress.
I never considered him a Democrat in the beginning.
I know. I loved what you said about that too.
I said, I didn't know he was a Democrat. I didn't realize that. But yeah, it's a nothing burger with him. Oh my God, just let him run it. I'll tell you, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. will get more votes than him.
Yeah, and he's running into now it's interesting with him. So we are in a 7 universal year, and he's having a 7 personal year. So he has to align to what he really feels is true, but I don't think he really believes everything that he's believing is true. And so that's why he's going to be off the market sooner than later. It's an old song we've already heard.
Yeah.
And we're not going to fall for it anymore.
What was Manchin's, what was his number? Do you remember?
Yeah, Manchin is 8 along with Cinema. Personal year. Cinema's is an 8 personal year. And Manchin is an 8 life path, I believe. So, but they're both motivated by the dollar, by the acquisition, how to, and having the power that comes with it.
Yeah.
So I think if all of them lost their jobs, they'll be just fine financially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So some people just $1 million isn't enough. That's for sure. Someone here just, thank you very much. So we were talking about the politics. Is there any other person that comes to mind that you want to?
But you saw Jack's number being, even though they're on the same path, being better, obviously.
It's how you make your choices. I'll give you an example. Like this, DeSantis is a 3 life path, which is a very creative guy. He did, he got there with his brains, and having a 3-year personal year and that is all. Life is going to help you with all these inspirations. Even those people are listening, if you are in a 3 personal year, that means you're going to not only get an idea for a book, you're going to have the motivation to do it. It's going to propel you into actually getting it down on paper, that kind of thing. So creativity. But instead of him writing a book and really loving what he wrote and really believing what he wrote, he enjoyed saying, look at me, I'm writing a book, I'm changing the history, I'm doing this. And that is his candy. That is his food, the applause, the exception. Whereas if someone's in the right zone for a 3 personal year, they'll just run with all this creativity and then anchor it down. But next year is his 4 personal year, which means he has to actually do the work, believe in what he says, and go up against a lot of defensiveness on it, and he won't be able to hold the claim. So I do believe
next year, 2024, is the end of Trump.
Oh yeah, and DeSantis too, I believe. Wait, now the governorship, that doesn't switch in 2024, does it? I can't remember.
No, I think it's 26, but I feel he'll be let out the door. So something will happen, some sort of, this guy is a cruel man, and he does underhanded things. It might even have to do with that money his wife took for the hurricane. Something's going to happen.
Well, they're both 3 life paths, and they have a lot of ideas on how things can go. So,
but based on really ugly things.
Yeah. And, let me explain one more thing, because when you have the blessing of a lot of creativity, and I don't know what year you're in, but when you're blessed with that, it's like all life wants you to do is create. Mm-hmm. It doesn't tell you what to create, but you follow your instincts, your passion, something, and there's momentum behind it. So when you create disillusion, despair with power over people, it just gets harder for them, harder. If you go ahead and get into your muse and create whatever you want, even creating new furniture for your living room, I don't care what it is, if you run with that and not shout it from the hills,
right,
you're going to be exactly just fine. So yeah, and so you were talking also about Jenny Thomas.
Yes, I feel her going wacko.
Yeah,
like almost like her husband can't hear her anymore because she's phobic about something right now, which could be that her back is against the wall.
Yeah, I believe that too, because with her numbers, it's life is making the decision for her to live in certain situations. Life is out of her control. Okay. And so that's what's making her nervous. I'm wondering if she's going to be I'm going to get my cards out and see if she's going to be arrested or something.
I think she'll be brought to task, and that's probably when her husband leaves.
Oh, do you think you see him leaving office?
He'll either step down. I don't know if he leaves face first or feet first. He's going to have to step down. And I've often said I think it's because of his wife.
Right. Well, I think because on the back end, our justice system is getting more defined and actually walking their talk with our 7 universal year, walking their talk. And I do believe they have momentum now. I didn't like with Garland, I wasn't all that convinced that momentum would catch fire, but it has.
Yeah.
And so that's going to move into the Supreme Court, I believe, especially with the younger
thing is him living fat. And, she partaked in all these vacations and stuff.
Yeah.
He lived for this and he was living fat. Now they're all going to back off because they don't want to be in the forefront.
That's right.
So not that he's going to struggle, but it's going to piss him off. So that's why I see him not yelling, but I see him, and he really is nervous about them putting restrictions on the Supreme Court. The restrictions are going to come, though, by the way.
Good.
I don't know when, but I do see a whole different ballpark for the Supreme Court because they're not gods.
I bet you it's going to be part of as much as we hate to say it, the, what is that, Freedom Foundation, or what was the foundation, the conservative foundation that just said we're not backing Trump?
What are they called? It's not the Freedom.
I know.
Somebody here will remember.
I'm looking here. What is that?
What are they called? The Federalist Society.
Federalist. Thank you.
Thank you, Seascape.
So the federal, Vortex Trading. Thank you. Yeah, it's like there's been a fracture in the formal religion, that they're cracking in there because this getting political isn't the way of the Bible, right? And so I think the tipping point has happened with them, and there's more people saying, this doesn't feel right. And so they're separating. Again, 7 universal year. You have to walk your talk. You cannot be duplicitous. You cannot say one thing and do another, as it'll bite you.
Yeah, I'm in an 8 personal year, I believe.
Awesome. Oh, that's good for writing a book.
Yeah.
Really good.
Just getting the energy up and getting her done.
I know. I can help you with that if you like. Okay. Anytime. So, oh yes, Sheldon Whitehouse. I just looked at his number. Where is he? So he's in a 1 personal year. So he's doing things quite different than, I don't know him personally, but
what's his personal year?
His personal year is 1. So
I really like him.
Yeah, he is very bright and enjoys being in front of the camera, or is comfortable in front of the camera, which is half the battle going to war with these people, right?
And I have a very good friend that works for him. And he is just as wonderful as what you see is what you get.
Oh, that's wonderful. Ask her if he's starting new tactical ways of communicating, because I think the 1 personal year opens up it offers new avenues. You can take them or leave them, but there's going to be offered. And it seems like he's getting momentum against the, for the Supreme Court to expand.
He's actually putting out this information piece by piece, and it's causing the resistance wall to break because they are starting to feel it now. The Supreme Court, I don't care how much they act like whatever. We don't have to answer to these peons, even Justice Roberts of all people.
I know.
They will get in there and they're going to change the way they do things with the Supreme Court. Because can you imagine that guy said that the Constitution doesn't give Congress the power? Yes, they do.
That's Alito. Alito did that.
This is a justice. And to say that is like, you don't know the law.
Right. I had some numbers for him too. I don't have them right here. Oh, Alito, Samuel. So, you know what he is? He's the same life path number which is 2, as Joe Biden and Mitch McConnell.
Interesting.
That's another thing, the devil and the angel. When you get the blessings and you use them right, then
I have a bad feeling about McConnell.
you said that, and I think he's probably.
And Dianne Feinstein too.
Oh yeah,
She's
and
really
she's
going
not
up.
there by choice. She's doing it for us.
She's doing it for us because she tried to step down, and the Republicans said they wouldn't replace her.
I don't know why we think they have so much power.
Yeah.
I don't understand that part.
And like that Aberville, who the hell does he think he is?
He's a mess. I just did his numbers this morning to make sure I had him right.
What did you do?
I gotta find it here. I've got little notes everywhere. Okay. Oh, did you? Yeah. There we are. So he's a 3811, which is a life path, which means he gets really idealistic and up in the clouds a bit. But he's having a 7 personal year. So what he is saying, he really believes.
Okay.
Now, some people say things that they don't believe, but they're saying it for the applause.
Like our FBA. Yeah.
Yeah. But he really believes this to be true. But look at him. He's a gazillion years old. He's probably reliving his childhood with those ethics and morals.
He's basing everything on the abortion issue, which, by the way, is what's going to kick the Republicans out of office.
We're so lucky.
Look what happened in Ohio. Look what happened in Wisconsin. What does that tell you? It tells you the youth will stand up and say, no, we don't want these kind of people.
I know it's been horrible for everybody.
And they're not going to get the military vote. They don't want to do anything for them.
Well, the military does not want to be in a position to turn down an order from the president.
Yes.
And that's causes.
And if it was up to Trump, if Trump could have gotten in charge, if those generals had listened to Trump, he said he wanted you to shoot anybody that didn't think he should be in office.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I felt, because they were making these jokes. You remember they would have Trump sitting at a desk in the White House and the Secret Service was rolling him out. Well, that's about what took place because he was like this. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just sit here and I'm not going to leave. And they said, sir, if you don't leave, the Supreme Court will vote 9-0. You got to go. We will come and remove you by force. You want that on camera?
Right.
They told them what they would do.
That little retaliation of just taking everything from the White House, all this papers that he's been collecting and everything. Lisa Foster, that is right. Let me show you for entertainment purposes. I have it written down below, but
let me entertain you.
Yeah, this is just our jibber jabber, the news that hasn't happened yet, but lighthearted for sure. So
Trump has an event in Iowa today. I'm just waiting to see if he opens his big mouth.
There were some people fighting back, the people who were giving Pence a hard time.
Okay.
So somebody says, you cheater or whatever, the traitor or whatever. And someone in the audience stepped up and said, just shut up. That's not the way it is, you know.
Oh, wow.
Both of them supported.
Although I wasn't hurt with the thing where they were calling the Satan, go back to Florida, you pudding fingers.
I know. I wish I would have seen that.
Yeah.
That would have been delightful.
What does a one personal year mean?
One personal year means that life, as long as you don't drag in any bad things, if you truly given up what just doesn't work in your 9 personal year, then you have an incredible opportunity to have new things offered to you. You know,
Okay.
you love your job, but maybe something from a different country would want you, or maybe you'll get married, or maybe you'll get divorced, or just a new life is coming.
Wow.
And it's up to you to pick and choose. You don't have to go through the divorce. You know
Right.
what I mean? But
I know when I used to do numbers and play around with it, I'm a 1 or 1.
11.
I'm 11.
Oh yeah, that makes you very intuitive.
Oh,
Uh,
who
wow.
knew? Who knew?
So the upper
Well,
octaves are
intuitively, I know whether I get a small fry or a large fry. I can figure that out.
intuitively how much happier we would be with the large one. For sure. You know, 11 life paths do have this. I can live on my own, but I choose to be with people. And
Yeah,
exactly. And so that's
I actually prefer kind of to be on my own.
that's
But
why YouTube is
I'm
fun.
also Virgo, so I don't mind taking care of my children.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Lisa,
So
are you psychic, Linda? No, more like psycho.
Lisa, funny. That's so funny. Oh, you're in life path. Wait.
Sweet and salty is on 11 life path too.
There, you know, I gotta tell you, I have noticed since I've done this work that the people who are attracted to my work are master numbers. It's amazing. You've got 11, 22, 33, all the way up. And it's fascinating. All these gifted people coming your way. Ivana Grave checked out. I don't know do you understand that question with
Yeah, they think there's a bunch of records in there.
top secret records, really?
Yeah, I believe there is, but I don't see them opening it first until he's dead.
Yeah. But then you have the family.
Yeah.
But
she's cremated.
But
they had a big old coffin that all kinds of men had to drag out, and she's cremated.
Yeah, it's the money. It's what he's going to take to go overseas to get
and
up.
Also, he made his estate a gravesite, so that gives him a bunch of leeway.
Oh man, that's just pushing the envelope. But everything's going to. He's in a 9 personal year. He's not giving up his old record label of being a challenging man.
Yeah.
So he's not changing his ways. Stash of gold and precious stones and metal. Probably. This is entertainment purpose. I think I'm a 6, she said. Oh, divine order. Divine order. I had this year is a 6 personal year for me, and it's all about taking a pause before you react. That's the lesson of a 6 personal year. But 6 life paths, excellent at it. They learn really quick.
Daisy said, what life year 3?
What is the life year for a 3?
Yeah, you put her up here.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know I did that. So, Daisy, so a 1 is new beginnings, new options. A 2 is how to relate to those options. A 3 is all about creativity with all you've learned from the 1st and 2nd. The 4th is you take that creativity from the 3rd 3 life personal year into the 4th personal year, and you make it work. You work out all the bugs, and whether it's a project or earning a certificate to do different work or something, you do that in the 4th. The 5th is where life comes in and says, oh, let me point you in this direction or that direction. The lesson of the 5 personal year is all about keeping loose with all that might happen. Six personal year is all about knowing what you're going to stand on for sure. The 7th, it's like anchoring you into the earth. And then the 7 personal year is all about anchoring and exploring oh, I lost her. I don't know. I must have done something wrong because I'm new at this. I'll take the blame. And can someone type something? Okay. Kevin, loving vibration. Hi, Kevin. I've watched your show a lot. You are a 7 personal year. Yeah, with the same universe. No wonder you're so connected, Kevin. Yeah, you got a following here too. Yeah, you're connected. If you're a 7 personal year and a 7 universal year, if you're not tapped in.
Oh, good. You kept going because that was my fault. I accidentally went to exit something and
Oh, thank you for telling me that,
was
because
my
I'm
fault.
really nervous about this. Kevin, Loving Vibrations is here,
Oh,
and he is a 7 life path and a 7 universal. Let me see if I can catch up with you. But walking his talk is going to be essential, and that's what you're doing, Kevin.
yes.
Make sure you check out. I'm sure there's some new people here. Check out Kevin's channel as well. Very talented. I love Biden as president. Done so much for him. Don't fear him, but GOP and MAGA. They want to kill all but their rich friends and cult. Yes, but understand that you need to, how do I say this? We need to go all the way here because there's a few more people on the planet that need to wake up. So it has to get more and more ridiculous. And every day I search on YouTube. Every day I search for people who are Republicans that have given up. Remember that granny that went to jail for 60 days because of him? She's on saying, I don't know how, but I was in the cult. And she's just supporting everything.
I'm hearing from ex-clients of mine who got the call from their mom or whoever saying, I'm done with them.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you heard that Satan said no more alimony for women, that men shouldn't have to pay alimony.
You know, I wonder how he got that into law, because did he sign an executive order?
Yeah, but I don't think it goes back in time. I think once a deal is made, it's anything moving forward. But can you imagine someone has been married to the same husband for 36 years and he leaves her for the secretary?
Well, the good news to that is I believe, thank you, Sharon, for putting Kevin's loving address up here on the vibrations, on the chat. I think policies can be changed. Laws can be changed. A dictator can't be changed.
No.
Right? So he is not going to get to the level of having that go full circle. And that's
so it might even go up to the Supreme Court and they'll say, no, this is the way it was written.
By that time, he started his own restaurant in Florida, serving only pudding. I mean, I swear, I think this guy, he's in his mid 40s or something, or maybe not even that old, but he in his 30s, I think, and he is at the top of his game politically.
Wow. That's not very copy.
He's got to do something else. The limelight isn't going to be him.
Well, they're hoping Trump will have to exit. But even if Trump can't run, the Satan won't win.
Right, exactly. You know who I think, I have this hit, but the numbers look good for Youngkin. I don't like him. I do not like him, but he's very, very smart. And he was able to balance all of his constituents when he got into office, because by liking Trump, but keeping him away, right? Keeping Trump away from the podium, sort of, and he won. But once he was in, he started.
Was he endorsed by Trump?
I'm sorry?
Was he endorsed by Trump?
Yes, but he wasn't happy about it. You know, he kept changing or getting quiet about things because gave the impression that he's not as Trump as and he didn't. I don't think he asked Trump to be on the stage with him.
Is he Is he running?
No, he's not running for president.
Yeah.
But at the last minute, he might jump in. If he did, he'd have a good chance. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And same with Newsom. If for some reason, Kamala doesn't
But he
want.
wouldn't do that to Kamala. He wouldn't.
No, no, he wouldn't do that.
He said, "I'm not. There's no way I want to be president."
He said that?
No,
Newsom?
unless she said that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's
right.
already announced he's not going to run, but I think he's going to be president down the road.
Right.
Maybe 2028 or something.
Right. He's doing really well with that. With California, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, they tried to exit him. How many times? They did a recall. How many times California had to pay all that money? And he won by a landslide every time they went to do it.
I know.
But why can't they recall what's his face in Florida?
Not as no momentum.
Well, maybe he put a law because he changes the laws all the time. You can't even talk about him unless you're registered. You can't be news media and talk negative about him unless you're registered.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
He's little, just like Hitler.
Yep.
What'd you see on Christie?
Chris Christie?
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe, I've read on him before, and he's a balancing act. He anchors everybody, but his history of wrongdoing, I think people are sick of just letting the best of the worst in. Okay. I think they're tired of it.
Okay.
Forgiving politicians for being, they were bad, but maybe they'll be better. People aren't into that anymore.
Now, the Fani case in Georgia, did you feel that's going to, I feel like it's going to be good.
Yeah, I do too. Now, my sense is that it's going to be a lot of people she brings to the courts for this suit. And I don't know if all of them will be hooked into jail time or consequences, but the most of it's going to be really, really good.
Okay.
Really good. She's a smart girl.
Marie said the Federal Society Constitutionalist Scholars wrote a paper saying 45 should be removed. I must have got 25 links to that.
I bet.
I love my people, but listen, if something happens, they send. And it's like, I hate to say I already got this, but it's like, I want to thank everybody. But yeah, I got so many, but yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah, that is. That really is. But the thing is that they don't need a law to judge him. They're their own island of what they want to put. I mean, they're kind of private, right? They're not public. Yeah. And so they believe, and there's a big paper coming out on this next year, but they believe that he's already done an insurrection. So the 14th Amendment is set in motion in their terms. And that they imagine that they don't get the Hillary vote. He doesn't get the Hillary vote that he did in 16. And he doesn't have the evangelicals either. He can't get in logically.
He's not going to win, but God forbid if he did, they'd bring up the 14th. He's not, and the Christians are not voting. What happened there? When did they turn on him?
There's this thing in Christianity and in evangelical. They split off years ago for the money doctrine or something like that, where it was more aggressive. That's the big churches that came up. And then there's the people who believe in the Bible and follow that. So they separated for a while and got overwhelmed for a while. And now there's someone who wrote a great book. I forget the title, but she's bringing back the logical, let's believe in God. And they're Christians, so let's believe in Jesus like before, not to game the system. That's when manifesting your money overnight kind of got hooked into in the mainstream.
Yeah.
So that was the shift, but that was a while ago, and they're growing out of it just like we're growing out of it. We're in the 7 universal year.
Yeah.
So,
And also, he's running out of money. Trump is, believe it or not.
you think so?
I think so. I think his abilities to make money has fallen.
Well, that's what I'm hoping his consequences will be, that he can't do any, I know he can't do any real estate in New York, but I'm wondering about.
And Jack is going to bring him up. Jack is already investigating about the Save America Fund or whatever, that it's fraudulent, that it was only going to be for his legal things. It doesn't matter. He's going down.
Tower time. Oh my God, we've got the 10 of Swords and the Tower in the same. I think that now they are going to be resisting. Here's the 7 of Wands. They're going to hold their ground, but then the ground's going to go out from under them.
Tower.
Yeah. Great minds.
So more stuff coming up that's going to throw him in over the bridge. He gets cray-cray when he starts getting hit too hard. When he's like a wild animal.
Well, he says one of his handlers did say that he spoke to him and says, I wouldn't be able to go in there, the jail. I could never live in there. I'm not going to do that type of thing. So I always think that maybe he would
never kill him. He would try to escape maybe and go to a different country.
No, he won't be able to die.
He would never put him in a regular jail. He would be maybe a military institution, some place where his Secret Service can sit outside. They would take shifts.
Right.
Exactly. They might even say, you were trying to cause an insurrection. You do not get Secret Service anymore.
Yeah, I'm thinking that, but until we have the full shift, which will be 26, 25 and 26, that will be more of a reality where the Justice Department is they have momentum now to be what they were supposed to be, what we expect them to be. And they're moving into that just fine. Thank you, Jack Smith. But, and then if that can keep the momentum, then you could see him because even if he was on house arrest, he's going to be huffy and puffy about it.
Yeah.
And try to rile up his base, try to do finance his business overseas when he can't, his passport's taken, all of that stuff. So I think eventually he would have to be.
Listen, he is going, based on my first dream I had of him in the coffin, he is going down. He is going down. You can't be ugly like that and keep going and be healthy.
Right.
That's right. Listen, what he's going to have to do, because he's not going to have access to write on media, he's going to have to watch all our videos, you guys, that we did predicting this was going to take place. So, Trump, if you're watching, Mr. Orange Crush, we told you so.
We told you. I'd hate to say we told you so, but we didn't you?
You're in trouble, girl. You're in trouble.
I love that. But we are on the mend, and we're back, and we're back.
Can you imagine if Biden had lost and he created all this drama? First of all, we turn away from Biden because we don't like that kind of mess. Can you imagine what the Republicans would be saying? We were upset when he won in 2016. They said he won, get over it.
I know. We didn't storm the Capitol, and Hillary Clinton went to the inauguration. God bless her. She's a bigger woman than I am. I wouldn't be, I don't know.
And then when they went to the lunch he had Hillary stand up and Bill to talk about what great people they are. Now, this is the same guy who said, snorting like he does, as soon as I become president, I'm going to have a special counsel and have you put in jail. But he was talking about how great they are. And, you know, they were at their wedding, his wedding to Melania, because the Clintons like money. That's between you and me. But the Clintons, you know, he's a big name in New York or so, but they also laugh about him because he's a big joke. So
Clinton?
they laugh about him, but he was giving towards things for them. So they felt obligated. But he's not a good person.
You're talking about Clinton.
Hillary and Bill went to lunch for Trump when he won, and he had them stand up so he could tell everybody what wonderful people they are. This is after he said the most vulgar things.
Yeah, that's right. I don't remember that.
Seeing Hillary's face, who's a Scorpio. She wasn't like, oh, thank you. She was like, who the F is this?
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean about he's always duplicitous. Say one thing, mean another. Can't do it in a 7 personal year. Cannot do it.
No.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Alligator won't need you. There's an inside joke we're missing. But this has been really, really fun.
Oh, listen, Jack is wanting to get in and freeze his assets. Somebody said that. And I see that happening.
Oh, you saw that? Oh, awesome.
Well, that would make it's more. I hate to say it. It's more after he loses because I see Mar-a-Lago going to the federal government.
Mar-a-Lago isn't his.
I thought it was.
Well, he claims a portion of it, but the people who bought it, he said he was going to move out of it, and he never did.
Okay, so then it might be that it's taken away from him because he claimed. I'm telling you, it's going to be taken away from him.
I love that.
Crime was committed there, and if they're the landlords, they might be in trouble for it, and the government takes it.
Right. It's just going to be a wonderful time. We're on the other side of the top. We're on the down slope.
And then we'll be coming on these shows and we'll be saying, told you.
But just, whenever you get worked up, just rest in the knowledge that we're over the worst of it. It's going to get ridiculous, but it's not going to be worse in your mind because you'll have a new perspective and a new strategy on how to deal with the news.
Yeah.
And trust that it's not going to last. It can't.
Right.
And thank you, Linda, for helping us.
I can't believe an hour flew by.
It's been so fun. Really fun.
We really have fun.
And you have given us options to see other people with the same message.
Yeah.
And you're doing such a wonderful job for us all.
Somebody said one day on your show, I said, come on, I know there's other light workers out there.
Yeah.
Get on board. So I tried to appear.
That was me. Yeah, I really appreciate. Yeah, I went on once, and then it was like my mic gave out. So, and you were so nice to go on with the show. I just got my anxiety was so big that I just thought I'm just going to go away.
Yeah,
but I loved meeting everybody on your show. Oh my God!
Yeah, how are your numbers? Are they good?
Yeah, they went up. They went really far up, and I need to get back into. I had a little pause in my life a little bit, but now I'm going to get back into doing more videos and stuff because I love the questions here.
Yeah, actually, today your numbers will go up again.
I appreciate that.
Now, how do you do readings or what?
I do. I'm building a private clientele now. I wasn't before. I was working on the hotlines and making my living that way, but I would really like to have a sincere, I like the hotlines too, don't get me wrong, but a sincere private clientele. So that's what I'm working on.
Oh, bro, you're good. You're going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to do it. Now, let me ask you a quick personal question.
Sure.
I'm having the replacement surgery September 28th. Nothing's retrograde. What do you think? Am I going to make it through?
You know, I got to tell you, let me just see what's strength, grace under pressure. You know, I see you with this new lease on life, the Page of Cups. This is great. And the thing is that it's so hard just prior to, because there's all these options you're going, and you're a nurse, you know what could go
I
wrong.
know. Well, you know, my mom went under when she was, I'll be 70 September 10th. Mom was 74, 75. She had a pretty good site surgery. She was never the same after that. So I have that little bit of fear of anesthesia.
Right. But just, I don't see it affecting you. Now, this is, as a caveat, I try not to take the fear away from anyone. Okay. Because that would be disrespectful, because you need that fear to make your choices, but you have made your choices. So I'm looking into the future, and I've got the Two of Wands as well. Things are going to go quite well.
Yeah. And so, these are cancer causing inserts. These implants, say 3% chance, but I've been living 3 years with this. They couldn't do anything because of COVID. And they put me on the back burner. And listen, I was supposed to go to the Comanche thing on September 28th. But when they said, okay, we got a date, September 28th, I canceled the Comanche because this is more important.
Yeah, it's better on the other side of it than the anxiety.
I know. I can't wait till October because I know I'm done with it.
Yeah. But you know, the last card here, look at this, the Emperor. Ooh. You're going to have top drawer people working on
and I'll probably meet a nice guy, or is that what you're saying?
So,
you think your hair? You think Gerard will come see me?
I love that. I love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and you're wonderful.
And we'll do this again.
I'd love it. Thank you so much.
Surgery and stuff. So
yeah, well, we're all praying for you for sure.
Thank
you.
And
we'll come over and clean your house and cook you food.
Oh, that's what I'm talking, girl.
Yeah.
Allie did a show where she asked questions. Did you see that one? I was on her show. I couldn't help it. She would ask me a question. She was coming off as something where they had asked somebody questions. She thought, cool. And she said, what is your most favorite word? And honest to God, psychically, I stood down and I said, dinner.
Mine too.
And I meant it. I meant it. And then she said, what do you think the first word that God will say to you when you go to the realm, to the higher powers? Mm-hmm. I said, next.
I saw that one and it was delightful. I got a hold of her afterwards. And I was thinking about what words would God say for me? And I really want him to say, well done.
Yeah, well done.
Well done. And here we are. We're all
right.
well today.
All right, you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Cheers.
Love everyone. Bye-bye.